Hi, we're going to be making a long stick for a chair today, working on a Roman style workbench with a planing block. And the only important thing about this planing block is that this little lip here is a little half inch shelf, and that helps guide the work here. We're going to use a jack plane and a block plane. I first learned this method from John Brown. He does it upright in a machinist vise, but it works just as well down here. So I have an octagonal 3/4 by 3/4 inch stick, and I have my jack plane. I'm going to hold the stick, which is 26 inches long, down here by the tenon, and I'm going to point one of the arises or corners straight up to the roof. And then I'm going to take a short stroke. I'm going to take more of a bite too. So I'm going to take a short stroke and then a long stroke. And I'm going to do that 3 times. So that's one round. Short stroke, long stroke, short stroke, long stroke. And as you can see, that aris has been turned into a flat, and a pretty significant flat too. So then I'm just going to turn it to the next aris and do the same thing. Short, long, short, long, short, long, rotate. Short, long, short, long, short, long, rotate, short. So I'm going to keep going like this until right here is about 1/8 of an inch, or a little more than 1/8 of an inch. But when that is down to 1/8 of an inch above the 1/2 inch tab, 1/2 inch top there, then we're going to switch strokes. Short, long, rotate. Almost there. So now we're about, it's about 1/8 of an inch all around there above the 1/2 inch rabbet there, or shoulder, whatever you want to call it. So now I'm going to switch to what I call stage 2, and this one is super easy. All I'm going to do is just take long strokes. So I'm going to take 3 long strokes on the aris and then rotate. Aris, 1, 2, 3. So this helps to reduce the entire stick in diameter so that this area down here doesn't get too thick. So 1, 2, 3. And that's about it. It is just a little higher. There's a couple little high spots. But I'm going to finish that off with a 1/2 inch tenon cutter, which will remove the last little bit of meat. So now I have this, which is tapered correctly from about 3/4 here to about 5/8 here to 1/2 inch here. And now I'm going to finish off the bottom of the tenon with a block plane. I turned it around, you're looking at the tenon now. So once again, I skewed the block plane, take an aggressive cut. This was used for non-aggressive work here. There. So now I'm just going to blend the lower part of this into the tenon. A little tear out there, which I will remedy here in a second. And I want to leave just a little bit of a shoulder there, because that shoulder is what fills in the mortise when you drive the stick into the seat, and that right there will fill any gaps around there. So the last thing to do is to kind of clean up your cuts with the block plane, if necessary. Like if in non-curly cherry, this is usually not necessary at all, but I've got some little areas of tear out there that I want to remedy. So I'm going to go around the stick once. And then here, this is the curly side where I've got some, so I just go the other way, and then the tear out disappears. Tear out down here that you saw me make. So this is a fairly tricky stick. It had curly, but didn't take too long to make it. So this is about ready to check. I'll have like a no-go gauge that will show me exactly where 5/8 inch hits and goes through the arm bow. And I may tune this up a little bit with a block plane, just depends on how the stick went, but that is all it takes.